Hello everybody, it is PreludeBoy99 and today we're going to talk about super treasure hunts. Let's get right into it. So what are super treasure hunts? Well, super treasure hunts are basic mainline Hot Wheels that have Spectraflame paint and Real Riders rims. This is a basic mainline Hot Wheels. You can tell because of how basic the paint is, and the wheels, I don't know if you guys can see that, the wheels are also basic. And this, if you guys give me one quick second, this is a super treasure hunt. Notice how the paint is a lot darker than the basic mainline variant. Again, it takes a very keen eye to tell the difference between a regular mainline Hot Wheels and a super treasure hunt. This one also has custom Real Riders rims, but the more, I would say, the more telling sign that you have a super treasure hunt is the golden seal behind the Hot Wheels. Of course, it's going to be harder for you guys to see, but if you guys can perhaps look, it's going to be very hard. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like in a bit, but if you guys can see the golden Hot Wheels logo behind the car, then you know that you have a super treasure hunt. Super treasure hunts have been a thing since the mid-90s, and it's been a tradition in Hot Wheels collecting culture. I've covered some super treasure hunts on my channel before, and today we're going to talk about some of the more rare, hard to find super treasure hunts. Now, I don't want to speak out of my ass and say that these are going to be more valuable than these, and so what and so forth. I'm going to talk about super treasure hunts that are harder to find because of how popular they are. Personally, I think some of these ones that are on my list are actually really good, and I highly recommend you look into it if you are looking into getting a super treasure hunt. Super treasure hunts are not cheap. Some of them are not cheap, some of them are more expensive than others, but I guarantee you can probably find most of these cheaper than what I'm saying. I also want to say that because of my Hot Wheels community here in Wisconsin, I was able to get most of these super treasure hunts below second market value. So I want to give a huge thanks to my Hot Wheels convention community, and I also want to state for the record that, again, this isn't a video saying what's more valuable than what. Starting off our list is going to be the 1968 Mazda Cosmo Sport. In my honest opinion, I think this is one of the most underrated Hot Wheels super treasure hunts out there. This came out in 2023, and it's roughly worth $30. Now, the reason why it's worth that low is because the price kind of deflated. This isn't a sought-after super treasure hunt. I think this is one of the, like I said, underrated. You have the orange Spectraflame paint with the treasure hunt symbol. This is a very basic super treasure hunt, and I think this is perfect for people that want to get started in collecting super treasure hunt. It's not expensive, it's not hard to find, and it's one of the more common super treasure hunts that you will see for sale on eBay or at conventions. And even at the time of this, when the case is released, these were on pegs. So again, super treasure hunts are rare, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying super treasure hunts are easy to find, but I would say that these aren't as sought after as any of the other super treasure hunts of 2023. Next on our list is the Mighty K. A lot of people sort of neglected this super treasure hunt because they believed that this was a fantasy car, when in reality, this is based off a real life car. I believe this is like the Suzuki little pickup truck that they have in Japan. I've seen them all over the place around my hometown, and I've seen a lot of people find this super treasure hunt. I believe this is one of the more easier to find super treasure hunts. My girlfriend found the super treasure hunt, and I believe this was her second super treasure hunt that she found, and she also found like I believe she found like another one, but she didn't grab it because we already had this one. I've seen plenty of reports of people getting this one, and I believe this is the perfect super treasure hunt to start collecting. I think this one is cute. I believe this has all the telltale signs of a super treasure hunt. You have the Real Riders rims, you have the Spectraflame paint, and it has a really nice deco, and it has the gold seal, just like all super treasure hunt does. So again, I believe this is a small step up from the Cosmo, but again, I believe this is a worthy addition to anyone's collection. You could easily pick this up for $20 or lower, depending on who you're dealing with or if this is a convention that you're at. This is a very easy to get super treasure hunt, and very easy to negotiate at that. The 2018 Camaro SS is a super treasure hunt a lot of people seem to miss. I believe that even before people went on Hot Wheels Wiki and found out what the 2024 super treasure hunt list was, a lot of people were just missing out on this super treasure hunt because they couldn't tell if it was a regular mainline or a super treasure hunt. Of course, like I said, one of the telltale signs of a super treasure hunt is the golden seal and the wheels, but the paint on this one is just really basic. It's very easy to confuse this as a mainline. Like I said, you have to have a real keen eye when it comes to looking for super treasure hunts and knowing what mainline car is a super treasure hunt. This one is roughly $30 or less, I believe. I don't think this thing is going to be going up in value anytime soon. I'm not trying to predict anything. I just think this is just a real basic super treasure hunt that is, again, not as special as any of the other ones I'm going to mention on this list. From here on out, we're going to go into the more special super treasure hunts. The 1971 Lamborghini Mura was the first of its main line to have a super treasure hunt. Of course, after this one, we had the blue Lamborghini Mura, and then we had other colors and variants, but this one was very special, and honestly, I believed it was a little trickier to find just because a lot of people were trying to look for this, and they thought it was going to be an extremely valuable super treasure hunt. So my girlfriend was actually the one who found this one that you're seeing right here. This was the first treasure hunt that she found, and she gifted to me for my birthday, and I was just completely shocked that she was able to find one before me. I still can't find a super treasure hunt in the stores, yet she is able to. This one in particular to me has a lot of sentimental value, but for others, I believe that just because of it being an exotic, there's a lot of value there. Again, not trying to talk about value, but again, I believe this was a little bit more trickier to find, and this one will be roughly estimated at $40 to $35 roughly. Now let's crank the heat with the Mazda 787B. This is one of my favorite super treasure hunts of this year, and I am so upset that I wasn't able to find it in the wild. I ended up having to buy it from a convention, and I bought it at a really good price. But what this super treasure hunt has is a lot of bold color, and it is a race car. Two things, they go together really well, and this one absolutely sells it. This is a mainline model that I've been wanting to be a super treasure hunt, and I've always wanted them to make these Le Mans style race cars into super treasure hunts, and this is why it actually works with this one. And I've seen a lot of people try to go after this one in particular just because it is, again, it's not common for Hot Wheels to make a super treasure hunt out of a race car. I know they've done it with some of the Corvettes and the Gumball Corvettes, but this one is a very special one, and it's a Japanese race car at that, so it's already special. You can find this for roughly $50 to $60. You can probably get it for even less if you're at a convention. The Nissan Skyline R32 is by far one of my favorite super treasure hunts that I've collected this year. I know this is an old casting from 2019, but it still holds up. From the stories that I've heard from people trying to hunt this thing down, it is absolutely crazy that I was able to get my hands on it for the price that I did. I got this for roughly $70, which again is really good considering that the market price for this is roughly from $80 to $90. Shout out to Gustavo for selling this gem to me at a killer deal. He told me a story of when his mom was at the store and she found two super treasure hunts of this Nissan Skyline R32. Of course, because it's a JDM and it's a super treasure hunt, that means that the value is going to go through the roof. You can get this for roughly $80 to $90, and at the time, I believe this was one of the harder super treasure hunts to find. So here is an honorable mention of a super treasure hunt that I believe deserves to be higher on this list just because of how crazy the deco is. I absolutely love this one, and it's been on my hit list, and unfortunately I was not able to find it. I've heard other people were able to find it more easily than most, but for me, When I was hitting the stores, I could not find it, and honestly, I'm really jealous of other people, of them being able to find it. Again, I was able to get this for a really good deal at the convention that I was at, and I'm really happy to add this to my collection. I just love the deco. I love the mismatch color rims. I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, it looks like a clown car, but for me, I really do like this comic book feel. I'm a huge comic book nerd, and I just love the golden Spectre Flame paint with this as well. So I believe this deserves to be at a higher spot. I don't know where exactly, but I decided to just leave this as an honorable mention. This section of the video is going to be super treasure hunts that I do not own, unfortunately, and these are the ones that are the top dogs of the super treasure hunt world. Now, the one that I'm going to talk about is the Celica Supra Super Treasure Hunt. This is one that's been on my want list for years, and it is one of the big ones. I honestly really love the color of the Celica Supra Super Treasure Hunt, and I love that it has this really custom underground street racing body kit to it. This one is currently going for $100 to $120. You could probably get it for $80 if you're at a convention or if you have other things to trade, but that is one of my wants, is the Celica Supra that came out in 2023. The next one that I'm going to mention is a very familiar one. It's going to be the Nissan Datsun Wagon. This is the 2023 Super Treasure Hunt. So this is the one that has the King of Hearts, or the Hearts Super Treasure Hunt, and it's in Spectre Flame Pink. This is the most wanted Super Treasure Hunt as of right now. I believe a lot of people are trying to still get their hands on it. This one is roughly worth $120. You can probably get it for $100. It's still retaining a lot of that value, but at the time this thing was extremely hard to find, and I've seen people literally just flexing on Instagram or on my community page, them showing that they have like 5 of them because they've cracked like 12 different cases, which was just absolutely crazy. There was no way that you were going to find the Hearts Super Treasure Hunt Datsun Wagon in the open, because again, a lot of people were breaking into cases trying to find it. And of course, you know, anything that has any rarity is going to lead to scalping, which is something that I'm not very proud of this community. And when I make these videos, it's not to promote scalping. I don't like scalping. I just like to collect, and what I'm trying to promote is I'm just trying to shed a light to a lot of super treasure hunts that deserve more love, and super treasure hunts that are just doing extremely well right now. I'm not so much saying that you guys should go out and buy these right now. I'm just shedding a light to how well these have been received and why they're so popular. And it's because they're super beautiful. If you guys want to know the best place to get super treasure hunts, it's not in your local supermarkets and it's not on eBay. The best place to get these super treasure hunts is your local conventions. It's a really good thing to be part of a Hot Wheels community because typically you can work deals with them. You can trade other Hot Wheels, you can get them lower than asking price if you just know how to negotiate, and it's a good way to make friends. That's what I did when I started my venture into the Hot Wheels community, and I was able to get myself a lot of nice stuff. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know down in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next Hot Wheels video. Peace.